Say hello. Hi, it's Alice, and I'm back with market update for the Victoria Real Estate Board for September 2024. And I am here with Zoe, who is my mom's very codependent puppy dog. And I hope you're having a great day today. I had a raccoon jump on my head at the wildlife center this morning. So, it's going pretty good. Anyways, let's get into the sales data and we'll see what's going on in the market and other things that I'm seeing and hearing and noticing. So, let's go. So for sales in September, we had 571 sales go through, and that was an increase of 16% year over year. For new listings, we had 1,441 new listings come to the market, which is up 11% versus last year. And so you can kind of see it picking up a little bit. We're getting a little bit better. And then for active inventory at the end of the month, we had 3,361 active listings on the market, which was up 25% versus last year. For sales of single-family dwellings, we're up 19%. Roughly versus last year, and that was 272 units sold. And in the benchmark price, we are down 2.8%. So the benchmark home price is approximately $1.79 million for single-family homes in the Victoria Core, and the average is down 8.4% versus last year, and that was an average of $1.23 million. So condos, what? You want to say it? For condo sales, we saw a 21.9% increase in sales with 189 units sold. So that was good for activity-wise. Benchmark home price-wise is down 5.1%, and that came down to $533,000. The average as well came down 8.6% to $596,000 for the average condo price in Victoria. And that was similar to the single-family home price. Yes, I knew they both went down. So the single-family home price went down 8.6% and condos down 8.4%. And you see it across the board. Even mobile homes were down 5.1% versus last year. The only thing that did not go down was townhouses. Those are actually up, I think, roughly 3%. And of course, they're absorbing that middle zone, so they tend to fare better than the other extremes. So, other than Victoria, the things that are going on in the area in Canada, we are waiting on October 25th to see what the Bank of Canada announces for their interest rate announcement. Probably will decrease it. We'll see. The Office of the Superintendent of Bankruptcy also noted in August that we had one of the higher amounts of consumer insolvencies, and the most closest number of insolvencies was in August 2009. But yeah, this August we had about 12,000 almost insolvencies filed, which is quite a bit. I think it was an increase of 8.9%. So not good to hear, but you are seeing these small markers of recession circulating around. Another thing in Victoria is business closures. So for businesses closing, it's actually been quite unfortunate in Victoria to see so many businesses closing their doors. Most of them state the reason is because their lease is renewed at a much, much higher rate, and it's basically backbreaking for their business and they can't make it work. So it's not been nice to watch, and apparently it's happening across Canada. In June, Stats Canada said that 1 in 20 businesses had closed their doors, and business starts had slowed 8.9% versus the previous year. So not good on the business front. It's unfortunate to see. And I would suspect most of that is trickle down from increased interest rates on those landlords who own those commercial properties, but it's been very tough going for business owners. Of course, going hand in hand with that is the fact that once businesses close, there are jobs that are lost. And again, that's a marker of recession. It's not a good sign, and it's really, really sad to see. But it's something to watch as we move towards the winter time and Christmas time to see how things go. But yeah, not a fantastic time to start a business in Canada right now. Don't start a business, okay? Don't do it. The other change that has happened since my last update is the federal government has announced that you can now purchase homes up to $1.5 million and have a CMHC insured mortgage. That will come into effect December 15th. And you could have a down payment of $125,000 versus $300,000, which used to be the previous minimum. So that opens up a lot of properties to people. I'm not opposed to it. And you'll see in Victoria, there's not a lot of houses that are under $1 million, so it's kind of a necessary change. And again, this is across Canada as well, so that would be helpful to people in Vancouver and Toronto. So probably a positive change overall. The other thing that they did was they upped the amortization allowance to 30 years for first-time homebuyers. For 30-year amortization, I actually think it's wonderful. When my husband and I bought our first condo in 2012, we had a 30-year amortization. We were in different careers. We were much younger, making less money, and it was a great thing to help us get going and have lower payments month to month. So I think it's awesome that they're doing that, and hopefully that helps a lot of young buyers make their payments more manageable. The last thing I'll note is for housing starts. According to CMHC, they put out a report in September that shows that Central Victoria starts are down 26%, and this is a year-over-year stat, but looking at other areas, we have Oak Bay, it's down 23%. I'm just looking at my notes here. Sydney was down 69% in their starts this year. North Saanich down 62%. Esquimalt down 95%. And Central Saanich was down 100%, so no new starts. And the actual starts that are accounted for, 53% of them are on the West Shore. So Langford is up 15% and Colwood is up 23% year over year. So you can see where most of the building is happening. A lot of these declines are due to building costs, the soft real estate market, and also the obstructions to development. So a lot of municipalities have different rules that developers need to get around, and it just takes longer and it makes it harder. But those are the starts. So last thing I wanted to talk about was, what's going on in my day-to-day. So day-to-day, I am finding actually that it's been picking up as far as activity for buying. So say if I inquire on a property and I say, hey, I'd like to show this property, does it have an offer? More increasingly, it does have an offer, or often they're in the middle of negotiating and they're only a couple days on the market. So I am noticing that changing, and I don't think it's a sign of the times or anything. I just think it's a slight shift. Also, if I view a property and it's newly listed and my client is like, let's think about it for a couple days, it tends to be within a few days they're getting an offer. So previously it was very slow, and I am noticing it's picking up. It really depends on the area where you are. So as I always say, this can't be applied to just blanket statement all of BC or all of Canada, because it's very dependent on where you are. For example, I was on a legal update course the other day, and there was a lot of agents in Vancouver in scattered areas, and they were noting that it was quite a bit slower there. And many of their buyers had dropped off and are just kind of cooling their heels, or they're finding their buyers are really, really taking their time and being choosy with what they want to buy, which I think is great. So it's great. So I think that's it for me and Zoe. Yeah, she said that's it. You're done. And we will see you again in the end of October. And we hope that you have a great Thanksgiving, right, Zoe? She says, yeah. And we're going to go meet the TELUS installer. And then we're going to go for a walk because she was very good. And you deserve it. You're a very good girl. All right, so take care, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye, Zoe.